What is up, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. We're going to do a different take on the Last of First challenge. We're going to do it online, and I'm going to mix it up with another video idea that I've been doing lately, which is reverse grids. So basically, we're going to be doing a Last of First challenge in a Mercedes, trying to replicate Valtteri Bottas's fight back through the field. I don't know at this stage if he's actually starting at the back, but I think he might be if he requires a chassis change. However, we'll be doing that anyway. And yeah, it's going to be a reverse grid. We're going to have the fastest cars at the back. So it's not only myself, but there's a lot of other of you guys in this as well. Yeah, the slowest guys at the front, slowest cars. And so it should be a very exciting race. 25% race. This is post-commentary on the PC. If you want to get involved in more of these online typey videos, follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And I'll always announce when I go online with these kind of things. I want to venture more into the online realm of things. Like, take current ideas that I've done in the past and just do them online like I'm doing now. Because I feel like it's just so much more unpredictable. So let's get into this race. We're going to be starting on the medium compound of tyre. And we're going to fight our way back through the field in this 25% race with 2019 performance. Away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix. And we are giving everyone a wide berth as we head into turn one. Like, I don't want to get tangled up in the first corner incidents. I know I've got a fast car. There's a lot of time in this race to make up the difference. So I'm just having a very calm approach to start this race off. And we will play ourselves in relatively slowly. So 25% race. I think it's like 18 laps. We'll be making a pit stop around lap 10. And then hopefully overcutting a few people. And then the aim is to win the Grand Prix. Now we're going up the inside of a McLaren. There's an Alfa Romeo going a little bit slowly on the run into the middle sector. But we can't get him. We actually collided with a McLaren. He kind of turned in on me, and he's massively run wide there, so I'm not really sure what his issues are. I think he's lagging around a little bit, but it's been not a bad start so far. I thought more people would have perished. Actually, you can see my teammate there going for a bit of a spin on this opening lap, so there goes one out of potentially 6 of my competition. It's really hard to know who's going to be in contention to win this race. Obviously, you can't count out anyone in the top 3 teams, but there could be a really, you know, fast driver up the field in a midfield car or even a back market car, stretching out the lead in a Toro Rosso, for example. I think there's a Toro Rosso leading this race, so yeah, you can't really rule anyone out. You've just got to make your way through the field and just hope that you've got enough in the locker to get through. Now, speaking of getting through, I wanted to go to the inside there to get up the inside of the Haas and the Red Bull. Didn't quite work out for us there. The McLaren goes for a big boy dive bomb, and unfortunately, we got tangled up in that. Now, I've got damage off. I turned off damage because I knew that this is going to be pretty hectic, as you can see. Oh! That is exactly why I didn't want damage on, because there's just too many reckless people in this field. Maybe in the next one, if we make this a series, we can always adjust the rules, and we'll see how we go. At the moment, I've got assists are banned. Not assists, setups are banned, so everyone has the exact same stock setup, so there's no advantages to be had there. It's just purely down to the car and driver skill, I suppose. Or lack of. But, you know, the people in this lobby who are going to be keeping it clean, they're going to be the ones who are going to come away with a fantastic result today. You can see a Williams right in front of us getting a bit wayward there in the middle sector. We dispatch of him and we move up into P13. We've now got another Haas. This guy is lagging around a little bit, so let's hopefully get past him ASAP. It's not the aggressive guys, it's not the overly defensive people that I worry about, it's the laggy people, because you just never know where their car is. We got the inside into the last corner, turned in on us, which is lovely. I didn't want space anyway, but I was so patient and waiting for an opportunity to present itself. I thought I had it done there, but yeah, it just gave us a bit of a squeeze. We get past on the straight, slipstream NTRS, and we are through now into P12. 14 laps left to go in this Mexican Grand Prix. And we've got our first, nearly second corner cut of the race. Strict corner cutting rules are on as well, so you need to be a bit of a clean boy in order to minimize those penalties. which might come into factor later on in the day. We set a fast up at the Grand Prix of a 1 minute 18.3. Honestly, I think we could go like a second, maybe 2 seconds faster than that. We're still easing into this. We haven't really had a lap without traffic. Such has been the craziness of this Grand Prix, and now we catch up to the peloton of this race, all fighting over P6, I think, as we get past one of the Toro Rossos. He's in the slipstream of his Red Bull sister teammate. We get squeezed by the Toro Rosso. I was not having any of that, and now the Toro Rosso. I think the Toro Rosso is taking out the Red Bull driver. There is no way that Red Bull could have just veered across the track unless he had some kind of vendetta against me. You can see here on the replay, we do get pushed away by the Toro Rosso, so that's why I think it's him. We need an external replay, and thanks to F1 2019's replay camera system highlights these days, we can see exactly what happened. The Toro Rosso just went straight on, basically punted the Red Bull, which then punted me. So unfortunate that we kind of came off worse. But we're out of that, as we can see one of the Haas's just rejoin on the track dangerously. That's got to be a penalty. But knowing the stewards of this game, that will not be. P10. Let's just take a moment to just relax, to just calm down a little bit. We've got a Ferrari in front of us. He doesn't look overly quick, so it might not be a threat to us in this Grand Prix. He's on the soft compound tyres as well. Like we're on the harder compound, so we're going to play ourselves into the Grand Prix a little bit later. Hopefully do an overcut, as some of the soft compound tyre runners are going to make a stop in the next lap or two. We now catch up to the Toro Rosso, who I believe caused the incident earlier. We'll just treat this move with a little bit of care. We go around the outside, turns to the inside for the next right-hander, and that is P7 for us. A bit of contact as well, for good measure. We are through and well inside the top 10. We've now got some runners making their stop, and this is going to give us a lot of clear air, which is going to be vital in a car like this, just having free roam to do whatever we want. We're going to hopefully perfect the overcut at this stage of the race. Running a little bit low on battery, so I had to save a little bit through the middle sector, but I had lots of fuel to play with, so that was the one thing I was offsetting, the lack of battery usage in this race. Teammate is in the lane, but he is a lap down, so I don't really feel too much sympathy for him there. Dropping down the order now, I thought we were going to be at least top 5 as we rejoin on the circuit, but the delta loss was a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. I actually thought, yeah, we were going to come out a lot better than what we are. We still have to overtake 8 cars now to win this Grand Prix, and there's 7 laps left in this race. I'm now hoping that maybe there's some penalties involved for some of the cars up ahead, because we're going to need that extra little bit of leverage to get us the position that we want in this race. Now up in a P7, the next car up ahead is in a Renault on hard compound tyres, so their pace is going to be absolutely atrocious, whereas ours will be absolute peak speed that we can get out of today's Grand Prix. Let's hopefully bang in a 1 minute 16, 1 minute 15, maybe even a 14, I'm not sure. You can get some crazy lap times out of these 2019 cars online, as we are just patiently sitting behind the Renault. He's not got a great run into the stadium section, and I'm going to dive him here because I've got so much more grip. I've got a much better car. Give him a little bit of a squeeze and we are through. Yeah, I probably could have broke even later than that and been a bit more forceful, but I didn't want to completely like wipe him out in case he was someone who didn't have much racecraft. But anyway, next up we've got a Ferrari who is locking up as we head into the middle sector, getting a little bit tail happy as we head through the high-speed S's and treating the back of his car like a bit of a donkey. And hopefully we don't get tangled up in his mess. There's only 5 laps left in this race now, and we can ill afford another mistake or another spin or anything of the like that is going to cost us a lot of time. The leaders are only a few seconds up the road. This Ferrari again is quite slow through the middle sector. I think it was his teammate I was battling earlier on in the race who was a bit slow through here. We get a nice exit out of the last corner, which is going to set us up nicely to get past on the straight. However, the Ferrari's got DRS on the Toro Rosso ahead, and I think this is going to be a 3-wide affair as we head into the braking zone here at turn 1. Let's steal some slipstream though. The Toro Rosso blocks that off. We go diving to the inside at turn 1. The Toro Rosso is still sticking it in there. Nearly takes out the Ferrari for good measure, and we are through for P5. A very bullish Toro Rosso, but he doesn't have the car pace to match it with the big boys into P5. And next up is the Ferrari, which is being sent into another dimension. And somehow the Toro Rosso comes out in front of me out of all that. Taking out a Ferrari. The Ferrari didn't... How did these guys have the biggest crash of 2019 and still, like, were able to... The Ferrari gained time by being taken out. The Toro Rosso is doing all the taking out, but is... Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's now P4. They've spooked each other off the track. Possibly a bit of a trick-or-treat act between the two of them. I've got my pumpkin helmet on to celebrate Halloween. Not too sure if I should do a Halloween video or not, but I'll give it a go maybe.
They're on all mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was at 1 minute 19.0. You're falling back by 1/10 a lap. They have a time penalty of 12.0.
12-second time penalty for the car ahead, so penalties well and truly will come into this, I reckon, if that is anything to go by. But yeah, with all the customization options in the multiplayer stuff, you can dress up as some absolute lunatics now in online, and I absolutely love it. I implore Codys to keep going with the customization stuff. Christmas should be pretty cool, based on the pumpkin helmet which I'm running, which is really cool. I've not seen anything like this in F1 games. But anyway, off topic. We're now on the podium positions. We've now got a corner cutting penalty. It's taken us 17 laps to do so. I think I've done quite well to keep it clean, to be honest. But unfortunate that we had to concede the penalty so late on in this race. It's now the last lap of the Grand Prix, and we're chasing down P2 here. That's the leader right there in the racing point. Just 4 or 5 seconds up the road. So we could win this race on penalties. But I would still love to win this race on track if I possibly could. We'll see if we can get the Alfa Romeo right in front of us on track if we can. Much faster through the high-speed S's. We're not going to get this guy into the next right-hander, but I think we could dive him into the left-hander after this one in the stadium section. He's broke really early. And unfortunately, I think that's the end of our race. Like, I took him... I'm waiting up for him because I don't... I took him out. The ethical thing is to wait up for him, but in doing so, I think I'm definitely costing myself a chance of winning this race. Let's let him go back through. It'll be P4, no P3, no P2. It's P2 in the Mexican Grand Prix. Penalties have come into it. Let's go ahead to the next screen and see what the damage is. 6 seconds. 6 seconds was the difference, despite waiting up massively at the death of the Grand Prix. If I would have just tucked in behind and not taken out the Alfa Romeo and then not waited for him, I would have won that race. What an absolute disaster. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Smash the like button if you did enjoy this series, this video. I love doing the last to first challenges, but now throwing the curveball of online into the mix, it throws a whole new dimension of unpredictability into the mix, and I love it. So if you guys want to see more of it, please show your support in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. Enjoy the Mexican Grand Prix, which is happening in just a matter of 2 hours. For me, hopefully it's a good race. But that's it from me. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.
Just